In this video, I wanted to talk about the 8 Pro, another mid-range beast from Realme, the company which is known to offer great value devices. For the starting price of £279 in the UK or €279 in the EU, you're getting a phone with a unique design, a quad camera system with a 108MP Samsung sensor at the core, great specs, AMOLED display, and a lot more. Let's take a further look and see if that's the mid-ranger you want to buy. In the retail box, you're getting a fast 65W charger, a cable, a SIM ejector pin, and a protective TPU case. Once you pick the phone up, you'll be surprised by how light and thin the phone is, especially considering a huge 4500 mAh battery. In comparison, this is how the phone looks like next to the Poco X3 Pro. The latter phone is significantly heavier and chunkier. I found the phone to sit comfortably in the hand, and it feels thinner and lighter than other mid-range devices I've reviewed recently. One of the highlights, the so-called crystal finish of the backplate, which is very nice to the touch and it does not attract fingerprints. I wish more manufacturers started experimenting with different designs and materials. For me, this backplate looks much better than any glossy glass or plastic panels. However, I'm not a huge fan of "Dare to Leap" slogan engraved on it. What if I don't dare? When it comes to display, we have pros and cons to consider. The pros is a beautiful AMOLED panel that is easily viewable outdoors thanks to 1000 nits of peak brightness output. The screen is sharp, vivid, and vibrant, and it has 180Hz touch sampling rate, but is just 60Hz while the competition already offers 120Hz refresh rate panels even at this price point. Under the screen, we have a very fast and reliable fingerprint reader. There is also a face unlock feature. On the left top corner, we have a 16MP shooter for selfies. The main camera system consists of a beefy 108MP Samsung sensor, 8MP ultra-wide, 2MP macro, and 2MP black and white lens. As usual, I'll talk about image quality in just a bit. I love that this phone has a dedicated microSD card slot in addition to 2 SIM card slots, and there is a headphone jack. The bottom firing speaker has a little bit of distortion going on at the highest volume setting, but the overall quality is still pretty good. Here is an audio test. A Snapdragon 720G chipset runs the show on this device, and you can choose between 6 or 8GB of RAM options. For storage, there is 128GB. I know that some call 720G an underpowered processor, but I would disagree. Sure, there are more powerful chipsets out there, but if you play popular titles like Call of Duty, Asphalt Extreme, and even PUBG on HD graphics, you won't see any stutter or lag. Well, maybe just a skipped frame or two that won't impede your overall gaming experience. Realme UI 2.0 is built on top of Android 11, and if you are into customizing the phone or playing with a lot of different settings, this Android skin is right for you. There are quite a few tweaks and settings to play with. Day-to-day performance of the phone is good. The device feels snappy and fast, and I didn't notice any lag when there were quite a few apps running in the background. However, I still wish we had a 120Hz refresh rate display for that extra feel of speed. I found the battery life to be great. I could get over 14 hours of screen on time while using the device for taking over 200 pictures, recording videos, browsing the web, and gaming for about 30 minutes on the highest display brightness setting. Then I watched a lot of YouTube videos at about 50% of screen brightness. That was enough for indoor use. On average, you should expect to get about 9 or 10 hours of SOT. Charging time is also impressive. With a supplied 65W charger, it takes about 47 minutes to charge the phone from 0 to 100%. When it comes to image quality, the wide-angle camera is kind of disappointing. It could produce much sharper looking pictures with more detail. The main lens, on the other hand, takes really nice pictures with plenty of detail, quite accurate colors, and decent dynamic range. 108MP mode gives you more resolution for cropping the image in post, but I found the standard auto mode to produce sharper photos. Now let's talk about zoom. The in-sensor zoom technology uses 3x ultra zoom to take photos. This mode takes 8 pictures quickly each time and then processes them to improve the sharpness in the output. The result of this, not quite optical zoom quality, but very close and quite impressive, especially given the price of the phone. I would say that most of the images have a very respectable level of detail. There is also a 5x zoom mode, which is not that impressive, but it's nice to have so much flexibility in a mid-range device. I took a few shots using a macro mode, but the results do not really impress, as images could look a lot sharper. Portrait mode blurs out the background nicely and the overall quality of pictures is nice. Selfies usually come out nice and sharp in both auto and portrait modes. Night mode is available on the wide angle and the main cameras, and even in 3x and 5x zoom modes. Some of the pictures could be a touch sharper, but the overall image quality is still very good. Low-light selfies, on the other hand, could look better in both the dedicated night and portrait modes. Just before I start talking about the video quality, check out uncut video samples uploaded to the Techline Extras YouTube channel if you're interested. All the links and show notes will be down below in the video description. I tested video recording quality both using a tripod and handheld, so I could suggest which modes to use in practice. I found the 4K 30fps video to be quite sharp and detailed, but it lacks image stabilization, which is really frustrating. That's why you need to use a tripod. You can also use 3x and 5x zoom in 4K 30fps mode, but the quality is mediocre. If you want to record videos handheld, your best option is 1080p 30 or 60fps. The footage is stable and smooth in both of these frame rates. There are also Ultra Steady and Ultra Steady Max modes that enhance stabilization, but I wouldn't recommend using them as you'll notice quite a few artifacts and jello effect. 1080p is the maximum resolution that can be used with a wide-angle lens. Just like the still image, the video quality does not really impress, as the footage could look sharper. I found the slow motion video to be decent, yet not the best I've seen. There's also a dual video mode that allows you to use both back and front cameras and switch the layout. For instance, you can split the screen or use the round or rectangle shapes for the selfie video picture-in-picture mode. 1080p 30fps selfie video quality is good, but there is no image stabilization. For the sound quality, check it yourself. Standing by the river, that means that you'll hear my voice as well as some ambient sounds caused by the water. Anyway, let me walk a little bit. I'll be holding the phone in two hands just to add a little bit of stability, but no other stabilization tools. Overall, the Realme 8 Pro is a great mid-ranger, even though it's not perfect. I love the way it looks and feels in the hand. An AMOLED screen is beautiful and bright, the main camera and 3x zoom are quite impressive, the overall performance is good, and the battery life is great. The main flaws of the phone include just the average wide-angle camera, Dare to Leap slogan engraved on the backplate may not appeal to everyone, the screen is just 60Hz, and 4K video lacks image stabilization. Despite these flaws, the Realme 8 Pro is still a great option in the mid-range segment. Therefore, I can easily recommend the Realme 8 Pro as a solid choice for those who want a feature-packed device at an affordable price. Tell me in the comment section down below what you think about the Realme 8 Pro. Would you buy this phone, or would you choose a similar device for the price? Also, like the video if you liked it, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, it was Linus, thank you for watching and see you soon.